Synchronization. What is process synchronization? It has a limited amount of resources present in it. Resources need to be shared among various processes. No two processes are using the same resource at the same time. May lead to data inconsistency. So, this requires processes to be synchronized, maintaining data consistency. Processes are categorized into two types. Independent process. Execution of one process does not affect the execution of other processes. Cooperative process. The execution of one process affects the execution of other processes. Critical section, CS, problem. Critical section is a code segment that can be accessed by only one process at a time. Critical section contains shared variables which need to be synchronized to maintain consistency of data variables. Critical section, CS, the portion of program text where the shared variables or shared resources or shared data will be placed. Non-critical section, NCS, the portion of program text where the independent code of the process will be placed. Process synchronization solution using critical section. Entry section. To enter the critical section code, a process must request permission. Entry section code implements this request. Critical section. When one process executes in its critical section, no other process can execute in its critical section. Exit section. After the critical section is executed, this is followed by exit section code which marks the end of critical section code. Remainder section. The remaining code of the process is known as remaining section. Mutual exclusion, ME. If a process P1 is executing in its critical section, no other process can execute in critical section. Bounded waiting. When a process requests get into a critical section, there is a specific time limit to several processes that can get into their critical section. Synchronization solution types. Peterson solution. Lock variables. Test and set lock, TSL. Counting semaphore. Binary semaphore. Monitors. 1. Peterson solution. This is a solution to the critical section problem. It's for two processes that alternate execution between then critical section and the remainder section. Say, P1 is the first process and P2 is the second process. The two processes should share two variables. Peterson solution preserves all three conditions. Mutual exclusion, progress, bounded waiting. Lock variables. The lock variable is a software synchronization mechanism. It uses multiple processes, at least two processes. It uses a lock variable to provide synchronization among the processes executing concurrently. However, it completely fails to provide synchronization. Test and set lock, TSL. Test and set lock, TSL, is a hardware synchronization mechanism. It uses a test and set instruction to provide the synchronization among the processes executing concurrently. If one process is currently executing a test and set, no other process is allowed to begin another test and set until the first process test and set is finished. So it is called test and set instruction. Classical problems of synchronization. Bounded buffer problem. Readers and writers problem. Dining philosophers problem. That's it for today's class. Bye students.